Hello, YouTube. Alright, this has been a very interesting day. As I'm driving now, I've hit more than 153 miles of traveling since I got gas this morning. It is the weekend, and Hurricane Isaias is supposed to possibly hit Florida. I think it's actually hitting Florida right now, the edges, the islands on the tip of Florida. So it's making its way up the coast, up the east coast, and moving up northwards towards North Carolina. Whether or not it actually makes landfall in Brevard County, which is where I am, which is on the east coast of Central Florida, is debatable. It may not. Some models show it will do it, some says it won't. But it's still expected, as far as I know right now, to remain a Category 1 hurricane, which for most Floridians, Category 1 is like, not a big deal. But it could be a big deal if you're a van dweller, because Category 1, by its nature, may go up as high as like 85 miles per hour. Now, I've been in this van when I was parked in a parking lot sleeping, and the wind was hitting it at 45 miles per hour, and it was rocking, and it was scary, because the wind was hitting it from one side, then twirling and hitting it from the other side, rocking the vehicle back and forth, and it was not something you want to sleep in. So I've been thinking about it, and I had my son earlier, and we had actually driven down to South Florida, which some people were questioning that, why I would drive down in towards the hurricane. It's because it's slow moving, and we had time, and I wanted to take my kid out to eat at Makita's, which is a very nice Chinese buffet. You know, they have the squid or the octopus there that I love to eat. So we went ahead and made that trip because I knew we could get there, get lunch before the place got packed, and before the storm started having any effect. So you can see the sky above me, in front of me is clear. It's because I'm heading north. So when we finished eating at Makita this morning, we went there at about 11:30. We got out of there about 12 o'clock. The sky was starting to get kind of cloudy and stuff, which meant the edge of the storm was starting to approach, South Florida, central South or north South Florida, the north end of South Florida, which is Jensen Beach area. So we drove up north and went to a bunch of different Goodwills, and even went to the flea market here, Renegers, which was pretty empty. Most stores, they were shutting down for the hurricane. So, but the hurricane isn't supposed to get here in Brevard County till this evening or later tonight, in Brevard County. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I think what we're going to do is play it safe. As some of you are telling me, it's better to be safe than sorry. Always play it safe, because this isn't like a video game. So, I was like, thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe what I'll do is drop my son off to his mother early. That way, they have time to button down and do what they need to do. I don't really see it being a big a deal if you're living in a sticks and bricks. It's only a Category 1. I say only a Category 1. But, this area has had Category 3s and stuff come through here. Category 1 really is just a big storm, and some stuff may be blown down, as in RVs and mobile homes. So I'm heading to my RV right now, and we'll be trying to secure it as best as possible, maybe asking the manager at the storage facility if I can move it, to park it, as close to the other RVs as possible, to kind of have the RVs help each other block the wind, basically. Because my RV, where it's parked right now, is kind of by itself, exposed. And I think the wide side of it is going to be where the wind, I think the wind's going to flow, like, if I'm not mistaken, I think the wind will flow from, it's going to hit us on the outer edge. I don't know if it's going to go south to north or north to south. I don't know which way the wind is blowing. But whether it goes north to south or south to north, my RV is going to get hit on the broadside, which is bad. So it needs to be turned so that the front of it and the back of it goes north to south, I think. I think that's the way it'll flow. Because we're going to get hit on the the left quadrant of the hurricane. So I'm heading over there right now to drop off some items into the RV, secure it a little bit more as best I can. It's still a mess because I was in the middle of painting it and renovating it. And grab a couple supply items from there. Then I'm going to load up the van. The van's like ready to go pretty much. So I'm just going to grab some papers, you know, legal papers and stuff in case the RV isn't there when I come back. There's a possibility if the wind gust hits that area that the RV could blow apart and there won't be an RV there anymore. Because RVs, they're not really designed for winds of 85 miles plus hitting them sideways. And it's not just like once. It's like it hits and it goes the other way. It goes back and forth. So, you know, RVs and mobile homes and stuff, they blow apart easily. So at this point right now, I'm going to head over there, get my papers, you know, birth certificates and all the other legal paperwork, and take it with me into the van. And I'm not planning a full escape, just trying to drive out of the direct hit, you know, where the wind will be the strong side. So what I will do is head west, toward not west towards California, but west towards the Tampa area, towards the west coast of Florida. Even though, honestly, I am tired. I've been driving all morning. I've already put 160 miles on the van today. So I will drive out towards the west and then try to find a place to park. I don't think I'm gonna drive all the way to Tampa. Although I could end up doing a road trip, you know, and then, because I suspect that the wind won't be, you know, unless it does a drastic turn, I don't think the storm will be heading towards Tampa at all. So if I went to Tampa, it would be pretty normal in Tampa. And then I could just explore and do, you know, some filming from there. But it's a 3-hour drive to get back to this coast, 3.5 hours. So I'm not sure I want to drive 3.5 hours there and then 3.5 hours back. That's 7 hours of driving. I may just go to Orlando area, which is only about an hour and a half away, and try to chill in Orlando, even though from what I heard, Orlando is tracking down on overnight sleeping in your vehicle. So that might become a problem. But I'll try to deal with it, I guess, as I deal with it. So the plan will be secure the RV, grab papers, and head out west. So I may do a broadcast tonight if I can, just to show you what it's like as I try to ride out the storm. But the main thing is, oh, somebody says Cracker Barrel. Maybe that's a great idea. Thank you for the tip on Cracker Barrel. I remember reading about that, but I didn't even think of it right now. You know, when your brain's got a million things going on, sometimes you don't think that clearly. So I appreciate you, whoever that was, with the tip about checking Cracker Barrel. I may check different Cracker Barrels along the route, and then, you know, possibly. I know Walmart might, because they might all be shut down, so they'll know if your car's sitting there, and, you know, I don't know, it's getting harder to stealth camp. But basically, I need a place where I can park just for the night, then head back tomorrow, because I'll be anxious to get back to the storage facility to see how my RV did, if it's still intact. So that's going to be the plan. I do appreciate the tips. I will be reading your messages to see if there's any other tips that I missed. But the main thing I want to do is just basically get the papers, because there's no guarantee that my RV will be there. It might be gone by tomorrow. Even though I don't think the storm's going to be that big a deal, but, you know, you never know. RVs are notorious for not being very well built. And even if they were well built, it's just a flimsy little tiny, you know, metal, aluminum or whatever, or plastic. It's not really going to stand against strong wind. It'll blow apart. So I just want to make sure I get all my legal paperwork, and better to be safe than sorry. So I'm going to be heading out of town. That's the good thing. Remember the other day I was talking about, I don't have to prepare this van. It's ready to go. Like right now, if nothing else, if I didn't have time to go get the papers and stuff, I could head out anywhere. I could go to Orlando, I could go to Tampa, I could go, as long as the car doesn't break down, I could just escape. I can plan my escape. I've got power, I've got water, I can cook food. I'm probably gonna go grab some food, like canned stuff and some rice and some water from the RV, which is kind of my stockpile, and take that with me, because doors could be closed tomorrow depending on what the hurricane does and what their situation is. So I think it's going to work out best. You can see cars here are, most of these people I think may be evacuating. Some are, I guess, just normal people traveling, but there was no mandatory evacuation as far as I know. They don't normally evacuate unless it's like big and it's really bad. So with it being slated to be a Category 1, most Floridians, those who have gone through hurricanes and stuff before, this is really not that big a deal. But for me, I'm just like, I'm in a van, and if you can outrun it or leave it behind, I would recommend, if you're in a vehicle, whether it be a van or an RV, better safe than sorry. Now, I don't want to take the RV, even though taking the RV would allow me to try to save the RV from getting destroyed by the hurricane. But my RV, as you know, is having transmission issues. It's slipping. And after what happened last year when it died on the little highway, as the hurricane was coming in, that was scary and that was horrendous. So we're not going to do that. So I'll just leave it parked for now and make my escape in the van, because it's not going to get towed. Last year I tried to park the RV, remember, at the car wash, and the guy had the police call me, and they were going to impound it and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I had to turn around and come back and switch out of my van back into the RV and drive the RV, which I didn't want to do. So we're not going to do that this year. This year, we're parking the RV. I paid for storage, so it's allowed to be there. And we're just going to cross our fingers on that and take the van, which is a little survival pod. Not only the survival pod, remember I had upgraded the living room area, so it has a living room now. Kitchen is still in process, but usable. The front kitchen area. So my plan is just to hop in it, go chill on the Orlando to the west coast of Florida. And then we might even do some episode, film something up there while I'm up there, just as a little diversion, I guess. And if nothing else, this is kind of a tip for those of you who are van dwelling or thinking about van dwelling and stuff. One of the benefits that you have when your house is on wheels, you can get out of town. When bad stuff like this, like a hurricane is coming, or let's say your town is about to go under riot and you're aware of it, get the heck out of Dodge. Okay? Get in your vehicle and leave. I know that you run the risk of a breakdown. That's why it's important. Like, I don't know if you saw Timothy's channel. He had bought a used Sienna van that he was going to convert for traveling across the country because he was trying to do it on a budget. And he actually fixed it. Most of the major components that tend to fail, like leaking possible head gasket, oil leaks, tires, wheels, all the stuff that he thought could be an issue, he went ahead and fixed. So his vehicle's like almost brand new, as far as mechanicals, which is really good if you got the skill set or the money. Little Blue is kind of mechanically okay because of Marcelo and them and the work they've done on her. Like, you can see she's still running. She needs new tires again. So I'll probably get some tires in, but it's not like critical. She's got working air conditioning, which is great. And, having been upgraded with solar and the ability to have 200 amp hours of power, she's like more than adequate for a survival pod. And for my evacuation, it's only really going to be one day. And really, it's not much different than what I normally do anyway, since I live in the van, So the only difference is, instead of parking in this area where I'm working, I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go out of town and then be looking for a parking spot where hopefully they don't give me a hard time. And if they do, I'll just tell the cop, hey, look, I'm homeless. I'm living in the van. Where do you suggest I park? I'm trying to hide from the hurricane. I'm evacuating from the hurricane, even though there's no mandatory evacuation. But there's no mandatory evacuation for people who live in a house. If you're in a car or a van or an RV, you really should leave. To ride it out when you don't have to. Some people do have to ride it out because they have to work and they can't just leave because they could lose their job or whatever. Me, I don't work on the weekends, at least not officially, not at my job, so I can leave. And even though I stayed this morning for visitation and stuff, I was debating because I wanted to see what the storm did, and it really looks like the storm's not that big a deal. But talking to my kid and my wife and everybody else, they're like, they really wanted me to take care of myself. Same with some viewers on there, putting comments on there in my previous videos. I do read them, letting me know to take care of myself. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm in a van, and it's going to be safer when I have a choice of taking a chance, and we're basically gambling with your life, or taking the lesser chance of evacuating, not even that far. I don't even have to stay in a hotel, so only cost is going to be gasoline, which is going to be about 20 or 30 bucks at the most. So I think my life is worth at least 20 or 30 dollars. I'll go ahead and evacuate. It's not a big deal. My van's already set. I'll probably just get some rice. I might not even eat rice tonight. I might just stop by, matter of fact, I may just do that. I think I might just go pick up a pizza right now. A little Caesar's pizza. It's a $5 hot and ready. I'm not really hungry right now, but I'll pick it up and have it in the van. And in about an hour or two, I'll eat it for dinner, as I'm evacuating. And I won't be hungry tonight. Yeah, I think I'll do that. It's $5 dinner. And I don't have to cook because I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like, it's been a long drive and I ate a big, huge meal. I don't know if you guys saw that video where I ate at the Makita's Chinese buffet. It was a huge meal. So I'm still pretty full. But we'll get food for tonight, head out and play safe. So stay tuned for that. Look forward to it. I appreciate all your kind tips. Those of you who are posting suggestions right now, I appreciate it. I can't read it because I'm driving, but I will come back and read it once I'm secured and able to replay the video and look at the comments and stuff. I do appreciate the tips because sometimes when you're in the middle of a situation like this, you don't really see clearly because you're just, it's like you have blinders on. You only see what you're seeing. But somebody who's not, dealing with the immediate crisis, they may have a better perspective. Like they can see more and may have good suggestions. So it is the one tip I will give you, if you're traveling in a van or living in a van or something like that, even if you're not monetizing your channel or not planning on monetizing your channel, it may not hurt to set up a channel and share it with people and your friends and stuff, and get people who, watch your channel and comment on there because they could end up offering some helpful advice and whatnot, and it could end up saving your life, so you're not like out there all by yourself in a van on the road, which would be very scary and very sad. This is 5:24, so we're going to cut over and head over to get some pizza. So next time you see me, I may be driving, or it depends on how I feel, because I think I've been broadcasting all day here. But basically, I'm going to evacuate, and it just has to do with playing it safe per my family suggesting it, and also per the viewers. If you have the ability to leave, why would you stay? The only reason you'd stay is to risk your life. And honestly, if you don't have to risk your life, I think that it's smarter to just, it's a $30 cost. But not only is that a $30 cost, I don't know if you've seen all these videos I've been producing and stuff. My my view count and stuff are going back up, as well as watch time, and so is my YouTube earnings. The channel had pretty much, I had to let it go. I was gonna let it die. I was ready to just end the channel and let it go. But I've got some plans that are kind of exciting that could happen within the next 6 months to 1 year from now that are going to be major changes. So part of that, to try to help me make that transition is to bring the YouTube channel back up, to basically be monetized and making money again. And because that's going to provide for my living expenses. And if it works out the way that I hope it does, I'll be able to share with you some ideas that some of you may have thought about, may not have thought about, maybe didn't even know. And if it works out the way I think it will, or I'm hoping it will, and you continue to follow this channel, it might even help you out, because I might be able to set up something to try to help people. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, that is still off in the distance right now, just trying to survive, on a day-by-day basis. And as of today, we're trying to survive a hurricane. So take care, everyone. God bless you all. I appreciate all your tips. I appreciate all your encouragement. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys later tonight or tomorrow or whatever. Hurricane, it should be here by tomorrow. And I will probably plan to come back into town by tomorrow night, because I have to go back to work on Monday. And, as far as everything is concerned, it should be normal. I'm praying that when I come back, the RV will be intact and there won't be any big deal. So, Go Frugal. That's your name, Go Frugal. I was saying false. I don't know. False prayers. It's Go Frugal. I got you. I don't know. Did you change your name or something, or I'm just confusing myself? I was wondering if the storm got stronger or whatever. As far as I know, the storm, they thought it might go up to 2, but it's like down to 1. And more like it might actually go along the coast of Florida. Like most of the storms, they always threaten Florida. They always say it's going to hit Florida. But 90% of the time, it doesn't hit Florida. It comes up to our coast, and then it goes up along the coast 5 to 10 miles out at sea. That's where the eye is, and where the really strong winds are, right on the outside of the eyes. On the outer skirts, there's some strong winds, but it's not as strong as the 100-mile, the 150-mile wind, or whatever they're talking about. On the arms where we're going to get hit, maybe it'll only be 40, 50 miles per hour. That doesn't seem like a lot, but I was in the van in a Walmart parking lot one day, and the wind was hitting me at 40, 50 miles an hour, and the vehicle was shaking, rocking really bad, and I was like, oh, this is scary. So, and that wasn't even a hurricane, that was just a bad storm. So, I don't really want to sit through that all night, especially if it looks like it's going to turn and come in. And rather than put myself through a night of anxiety, because, it's already anxious enough being out here, I think I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to put my vehicle, I'll deal with the anxiety of the cops knocking on the door, but most police officers, if they knock in on a day like today, where we have a hurricane off the coast and they know that you're homeless, they probably won't give you a hard time. If you're not doing anything weird, if you just park somewhere and you're just there for the night, they check your driver's license and everything matches, they're probably just going to say, you can park here or you can just stay. They're going to leave you alone. They're not going to be out there looking for more trouble. They got too much crap going on their end, because it's kind of an emergency situation with the hurricane on top of the COVID. So I'm just trying to play it safe. I don't want to be here and then sit through a storm that might potentially cause havoc, or more than likely, I really don't think it would affect me in the van, honestly, because it's only a Category 1. I think we've been out in the, remember the older shows, the older videos? I was out in the compound doing Category 1 hurricanes, and it wasn't bad. So I really don't think it'll be that big a deal. But, at that time I wasn't married. And I didn't have all the viewers on there, worried about me. So people telling me I should probably try to be safe has really made me rethink and say, you know what? If I don't have to gamble, I mean, you're always gambling with your life. You know, being on a road trip and stuff is dangerous. Between being on the road and traveling, you know, out an hour, 2 hours away, versus sitting here where I know for sure, even if the storm doesn't actually make landfall here, I'm going to feel the effects. I would rather just take the 2 hour drive or 2 hour drive away to try to be safe than deal with being up all night with the vehicle rocking and me freaking out in the middle of the night. So I'm just playing it safe. I'm taking the safer option, basically. So this is Caesars, Little Caesars. It's off a road called Clear Lake Road if you ever are in this area and need Little Caesars. And it's a $5 dinner that's going to be already pre-cooked. Best food, but you know what? $5 pizza always sinks better. And it's nice and hot. I'm not even hungry, but I may have a piece while it's still nice and hot. Because, you know, pizza, if you let it cool down, it starts to get kind of like cardboard. So, even though I'm not super hungry, I might eat a couple slices just while it's still hot and, you know, the cheese is melted. So I may go ahead and have that. And I want to thank you all for your well wishes, your kind thoughts, and for those of you giving tips. If you look at it it looks nice. The sky's like perfectly clear right here. You can tell when the storm's coming because the sky will be full of clouds. You're watching the rim of clouds. And I've been today, because we were down in South Florida eating at the Chinese restaurant that we came out, we've been like outrunning the clouds, just watching the clouds follow us. And I was telling my son, he was like, so how much time do we have? And I said, well, we can look at the clouds and see. If we're in the middle of the clouds, the storm's about to hit us because we're in that band. If we're out here where it's clear, it's because the storm actually pulled all the moisture and all the clouds. You know, it's going in that circular manner. So it's pulling it there, all the moisture, into the storm. So where we are right now, you can see no cloud in the sky. Well, is that a cloud? No, that's not a cloud. That's a reflection. So it's like clear and it's hot and it's not super windy. Look at the tree, the leaves. See how they're barely blowing? So it's a nice day. Like, I'm glad I took my kid out and we went and we did all the stuff we did and I dropped him off early. You know, I normally don't drop him off this early, and sometimes he spends the night, you know, on the weekends. But because of the hurricane, we're only going to have one day of visitation. Tomorrow I can get him if I wanted to, but I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to be out of town, and then I'll be coming back, and then I will be dealing with the RV. I don't know what I'm going to find when I go to check out the RV tomorrow. So I'm kind of designating the whole day as being get to the RV, check it out, try to fix it, try to secure it, and then get myself ready for work tomorrow morning. Not tomorrow morning, but Monday morning. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and hopefully you'll all stay safe. And God be with each and every one of you. Take care, everyone. God bless you. Please stay safe. And know that I think of each and every one of you and pray for you guys. Have a great day.